Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of CityZilla Plays Cities Skylines, and in this episode we are going to be working on our cargo hubs. We don't have a ship cargo hub, and so I think we're going to be placing one down, and then we're going to be kind of messing around with our airport cargo hub. We are having some pretty bad traffic issues related to our cargo hubs, and it's kind of funny, they say when you place them that they generate a ton of traffic, and so it's definitely true. We need to go in and rework it. Our traffic is just crazy, and so let's go ahead and dive in. And so this is the cargo hub that I'm talking about, and you can kind of see the backups already happening. I kind of finagled these roads a little bit and added in this roundabout to try to clear up this whole freeway exit right here, and it helped out quite a bit. And another big addition that we were missing is just having the medians, because we were having a lot of people kind of cut across, and you can even see these people are all waiting to turn left. And so this whole area is just not functioning super well. But one of the biggest things that I'm seeing is, so if we back out and we look at where all of our cargo hubs are, and so we have a big cargo hub right there, and then we have the other airport cargo hub down here, and then we have two train cargo hubs, and then we have a train cargo hub down here. And so what's happening is any buildings within this area or over here are putting calls to either here or over there, and it's kind of funny. Most of them are going over here, over here. I don't know if maybe because the routes are just a little faster or something, but even with our warehouses down, they're driving pretty far, and I think that's really what is generating a lot of this traffic. Most of these are delivery trucks or trucks from our, so agricultural products from our industrial areas. And so let's go ahead. What I was thinking is adding a ship cargo hub over here, because I think it would be a great addition for this side of the city. I think it's going to create access and really help to kind of cut back on the traffic over here, and so we'll just kind of pop it in and see if it does help. I'm really hoping it does, but fingers crossed. You never know with this game. We might still have to play around with some of our... Alright, and so what I'm thinking is we are going to start off by leveling this first. That's probably good right there. I was originally thinking we'd probably go lower, but with our issues we were having in the past with the flooding, it might be smarter. And I just want to bring this back enough to do, I'm thinking like one grid, because this is also going to be a good opportunity for us to finally put in some fishing. And then with this whole area, because this is all oil-rich land, I think what we'll end up doing is creating an oil industry specialization area, and then probably even creating some low-density housing up here, since this area is going to need some residents. And so let's start off by doing a quay wall, because it's going to be a harbor. I would really like it to be kind of clean, and so we'll do that. And then let's just go in, because we know with quay walls a lot it messes up the ground underneath, and so we'll go like that. And you know what, the quay wall's a little up, but I think that's okay. It does kind of mess up that a little bit though. You just don't want flooding. That's the big thing. No flooding. And so I think that's good. It's a little higher than I was hoping, but I think it's going to work for our purposes. Once we start placing stuff down, it'll really clean it up a little bit. And so we'll come in here and we will do the cargo hub, because it adds the train access too, which I think is super important. And so I think I'm going to put it way on this side so that we can fit in some fisheries as well. And so I think, you know what, I think that looks pretty good where it is. It did kind of raise up the road a little bit. I'm going to see if I can just drop that down. Yeah, there you go. I think that looks pretty good. It does make it so that we're probably going to have to do some tunnels for the train, but I think because the train's way over here anyways, we'd probably still have to do that. And so let's go ahead and place down the fishing industry. And so we're going to do fishing harbors. We'll probably start over here. Let's see if we can just get like maybe 3 in. I think we can have them pretty close, and I'll just go in and unlock the segments. Yeah, I think we're going to put them like right next to each other. And then we will... so in that way we can get a little more in there too, which I think is good. And so we'll come into the network multi-tool and we'll just unlock all these roads so that we can delete them. And then come back in, and I needed to do this road too. And so we will go into our main roads now, and since this is an industrial area, we really don't need to get too fancy with it. I think this is probably going to be good, yeah, right there. And then I'll probably go one up and then just come across. I think right there is probably perfect. And then I do want to clean up this road up here. Or this cliff. Yeah, there you go. And then what I think we'll end up doing is probably a key wall up there. Just because this would be a whole like harbor area, and so it would be safe to assume that maybe it would be cleaned up a little bit. And so we need access down here, and what I'm thinking is we'll probably go right from the middle. And I want it to be straight. I mean, that right there is probably pretty good. And we'll come up, and then we'll start curving. And then I think we'll line this up with this guy. Hey, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. I was kind of hoping it'd be a little further back, but I think it still keeps this area accessible, which is good. And so what I'm thinking is we will bring the rest of this up top. Oh, we need soil. And drag this down so that we can create like a little cliff front. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. And let's see if we can get a key wall in here. Yeah, there you go. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know how this would look, but I think for our purposes it looks okay. Yeah, we'll probably just soften that up, because I don't think having those jagged edges there would be super realistic. And you know what? I think because this key wall is there, it's messing with that little section. Yeah, there we go. I like how this is kind of a little cliff face right here, because I think what we're going to do is try to put a little bridge. I think that would be super cool if we were able to, like, say, do one of these guys and then have it actually come across. Yeah, look at that. I think that looks super cool. Perfect. And then we will... Yeah, look at that. I like that a lot. It's just like a little bridge with the iron coming across, and so now we can actually build the industrial area up there. We do need to figure out a way. We'll probably swoop it down underground to attach to the tunnel, and so let's figure out the rest of this road layout. So I think because of the cargo hub, it would be smart if we did one ways. So I think for this area we will do one ways, and then switch these around. There you go. And so now there would be a little easier access for some of these. I think this is not on the ground, so let's see if we can get... It's interesting. That's okay, we don't technically need the zoning and so but I think what we'll do is put down one of our handy dandy waste disposals right there, because I think down here it doesn't pollute anything, and so it would be a good spot for it. And then we do need to put down one of the fish factories. Oh, it's a little bit bigger. Oh wow. So you know what, maybe we will cut this in. I think that could be good. Let's see if it fits now. Yeah, there you go. It actually looks pretty good. And then we'll probably just have the one-way cut down here, and then we'll turn that other section into a through street. So we'll come up here, and then we'll connect that guy up, and then we'll turn this around, and then we'll just turn this into a two-way street. Yeah, there you go. And then we could add through streets in there. I don't know if that's going to help with traffic though. And so what I'm thinking is we'll probably put a couple little parks. I think that could be good. So we'll come down here. Maybe we'll do one like right there, and then we'll do one over here, just so that workers down here could grab something to eat, or and we'll put a little, maybe we'll put the emergency services up top. No, we need a fire department though, so we'll put this guy there. We'll put a police station in there too. And so we got the two plazas. I do want to get just a little bit of commercial zoning, not a lot, just a little bit though. Maybe we will cut that down and do some paths. I think this would be good. Yeah, there you go. And then we'll even cut this across. You want to provide walkability whenever you can. So we'll come up here, and we can try to figure out something else for that area. Let's a warehouse would be smart. Let's see if we can get, you know what, I think that is super smart. And then because the fish products are actually commercial zone goods, and so by putting that there we actually help this area out. I think this would be a nice entrance for this area. I don't know how realistic it would be for a harbor. A lot of the harbors I've seen are just kind of grungy, and it's, you know, a place of work and a lot of movement, and I don't know if you'd have like a garden like this, but I think with the fish market and everything there, or the fish factory, it'd be nice, you know, especially for these workers. It'd be nice to see, and so I think putting in these amenities is really nice for the area. Just don't know how, if you would ever see it in real life, but maybe. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Got a little entrance. We need to get some water pipes down here, and so let's go ahead and do that. Come up here. We can actually just cut this across. There you go. We need to figure out how we're going to get power down here. You know what? I think we can actually just go underneath the bridge right there. Yep. Because the bridge is so tall. That works. And so let's unpause it so that all these people can get their needed power and water. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. And then all we need to do now is paint in our fishing area. Okay, so we'll go into our fishing industry tab and go to our fishing route. And so I want to get like a good mixture of fish. I don't think we're going to be able to in all of them, but I think it'd be smart to try as best we can. These might be a little too short. We'll definitely have to wait and see. And I just want to make sure that we didn't beach any of them in this area. I saw we were getting a little close, but it should be good. But sometimes you never know. And so we've got a couple shops down here, which is great. Then we've got our cargo hub, and so we need to figure out our trains real quick. And so let's come in here, and I think what I'm going to do, because it's right there, if we came up here, that'd probably be good. So we'll come off of this guy. And then I want to try to use the network multi-tool to see what it paints. Because it actually could be good. And let's see. Yeah, you know what? I think that's pretty good. Pretty sure it's going to go underground too. Let's go ahead. I think we will hit enter on that and see what it does. So I think that's going to work out pretty well. This curve right here is a little sharp, but we'll come in here and we'll now grade it to see if it is good. It should be good, but you never know. And there you go. I like how the tunnel kind of swoops in. I think that's good. And then I kind of do want to fix this, but I think it's smooth enough to where I don't think it's going to cause too much of an issue. And so now all we need to do is create the other direction, and so we'll probably do the same thing, but we need to figure out a place down here. Maybe we'll go like right there. I don't know how well this is going to work, so we shall see. I really like this tool. It hasn't failed me yet, but that doesn't mean it won't. So there we go. So I think if we curve that one in, it's got a roundabout in this one. Yeah, you know what? I think that's going to be better right there. I would rather... Yeah, let's hit enter. And then we'll do the same thing with our slope utility. Come in here. Let's see how that looks. You know what? That looks okay. I think that looks pretty good. It did kind of protrude out a little bit, so I think I'm going to try to fix it. You know, I think that's good. It comes out a little bit, but I think it's necessary, and so I think now we have some pretty good access. Still think this side's a little sharp, but I think it's going to work for what we're trying to do. And then this right here creates some... It's pretty good. So we have the straightaway, and so now technically we'll see if there's enough room for a train to queue. But we'll just have to kind of wait and see. And so let's move on up here. I'm not going to get too crazy with this. We don't have a ton of need for industrial right now, and so I don't want to overbuild. But I think we'll end up putting in some residential in here too, which would be smart. So I'm just going to do 2 across and then 1 down. No reason to get fancy with an industrial layout. But I think we will curve this down. I don't know if I want to just continue using that industrial road, so we'll probably switch to a regular 4-lane and then have this come down this way and then follow the ledge a little bit Maybe we'll have it come up here, because then we can just turn it and have it be a 90, which could be smart. Yeah, there you go. And then maybe we will have this curve down here. Yeah, you know what? That's not bad. I had prep and tree anarchy on those, so all of our that's one way to fix it. There you go. You know, nothing too crazy. This would just be like a little oil community, and so I don't know if it would be fancy houses or anything like that. It would probably be less expensive houses. More affordable. But I mean, with this cliff face, it could still be really nice to live here. So we'll come in here and we'll just kind of paint out something real quick. I'm not going to do anything crazy fancy. I think we will probably just do a grid pattern. That could be good. But then we'll probably just put in some curves. Maybe we'll cut across. Yeah, you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Then we'll come up here. Let's do some cul-de-sacs. Alright, so then we need to place down some services. And I think I'm going to put them on over here. Yeah, I think that would be good. And then, so I selected oil industry already. I want to get a couple parks in here. Nothing too crazy, but just a nice amenity for these people. And then we do need to get an elementary school as well as a high school, and I like them right next to the park. And let's go ahead and put a library as well if we can. That's not going to fit. We don't technically need it, and so I think that'll be good right there. And so what I'm thinking is we'll probably put in a warehouse. I was kind of hoping this was going to fit, but it looks like it's just a little too big. You know, we could fit it there. Yeah, because it's got a lot of noise anyway, so we'll put it right there, and then we'll come in here, and I think we will go like right there over, and then we'll put a little bit of shopping in here for these people. I think that would be smart. And then we can actually put some more shopping on that side since the noise is going to be too much for these people. I think we'll end up putting houses on the cliff face there too, because that would be a really nice place to have a home. Yeah, kind of be overlooking the harbor, so it wouldn't be super great, but I think it would still be nice. I mean, you'd have a pretty nice view of our little theme park area over there, and because it's higher, it would be over the harbor. And there we go. And then we just need to make sure that we got power. And there we go. And then I think we will put in a little bit of a sound barrier around this freeway. I think that would be smart. So maybe we will... You know what, I think the next episode we're going to end up changing this freeway, and so... Yeah, I think because we're going to move this out here, and I kind of had a cool idea for a double trumpet where they're going to be separated, and so we'll actually be able to expand this a little further. So I think for right now this is probably good. Let's go ahead and unpause it, and let's see if we broke anything or anything's wrong. This should be good. I mean, we got elementary, high school, a little bit of a park. got electricity, we just needed to expand, and then we did our... Oh, you know what? We didn't connect it to anything. It's pretty important. These people, I mean, I don't even know how they're building. I guess somebody climbed up here. Okay, so what we can do is go like this and actually have this go down. I think right there is probably good, and then we'll have this go down again, and then probably curve in here. Don't want it to be too close to that intersection, but I also want it to be at like a 90. So that's pretty good. It's not at a perfect 90, but man, the hill is steep. Maybe we will make that a little less steep for them. Yeah, it's still pretty steep, but it's a little less steep now, and they would be climbing up a hill, so there'd be an anticipation of it, and so... Ooh, look at our water. So we need to plop down some more water real quick. I'll put one of these guys, and I think we'll even do... Maybe that's enough, but I think we will come in here, and I think we're just going to put it back here. This is our big kind of service center, and so be smart just to have it back here. Put a little road just because we don't really need it. I don't even know if these have any traffic, but I want to put 2 just so that we can cover our bases for a little while since we're expanding a lot. I think that's smart. Let's see if it connects up with power. It does, and so these should come online any second. Yeah, there you go. And I think our water, we may need one more. Yeah, I think that could be good. So we'll put in one more. There you go. And I'm putting in these water pumps because it helps with our water levels. It does bleed the river dry a little bit, but since we are having all those flooding issues, I'd rather it go down a little bit than it go up. And so I think and we're still pretty high, which is good. And so that should be good for our water needs. Let's go ahead and look at our electric while we're at it. We're still pretty good for electric. Yeah, we're pretty solid. And so I really like how this area turned out. I like the quay wall. I like the fishing area with the cargo hub. And so now we need to jump over to that other area and see if we helped out with the traffic at all, since that was our kind of primary purpose. Need to set this up. So I'm going to do zoned industry oil products, since that's what this whole area is. And so that actually gives us a nice little buffer for some more money in there. I don't think we're making a ton of money on those, but I think it does help out a little bit. Yeah, so oil, I mean, 3,000 a week, that's actually not bad. That's kind of respectable. But I like how this bridge turned out. I think this looks cool. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. I don't know how the park looks, fits in, but I think it's alright. So let's look over here. So our traffic is just, oh my god. Yeah, look at this. It's getting worse. And so I think what we need to do, and I hate doing these, but because this is already such a congested area, I think it's going to be our only solution, but to do a frontage road where you actually do the kind of switchbacks. It's incredibly unrealistic, but normally, like this one, we still have a little bit of congestion, but because I had set it up by itself, it doesn't really have anything else other than this warehouse right here. It just works a little better for the backup. Whereas because this area, where is it? Over here, because it's got all this zoning and stuff right here, it just isn't as good. And then we have the freeway off ramp right there, which is terrible. But you know what? We'll pause it. And then I think I'm just going to cheat and move this real quick. And then we will delete these guys, because we're going to have to repaint that anyways. Look, we had a train and a plane in there. So we're just messing up all kinds of stuff. And then I think what we're going to do is have it come off of the roundabout. I think that would be smart. And then we will raise this guy up. Yeah, there you go. That should be tall enough. Yeah. And so we'll cut this down, and then we'll come across, and then we'll do a little switchback, and we'll come back, and we'll come up here. Oh, come on, space already. It's because the train's there. And then we'll just come down here. And I don't think that's great, but it's going to work. I've done these in the past, and this is just a really simple way to solve this problem. And so I want to get this still up on the platform. We'll go right there. Yeah, that's good. Wanted to make sure it didn't fall off the hill there. And then we just need to repaint in our train line. So I want to come up, and then let's... Yeah, there you go. I think it's a little too far that way, so we will... And so, I mean, this should this should fix the problem. Again, I don't like having to do these, but they work. You allow a lot of room for queuing, and because we have this interchange right here, this whole area is just really messed up because of the cargo hub. And so having this area separated and then also on the roundabout and kind of separated from this freeway off-ramp is definitely going to help out here. And I think we can actually help this out a little bit more too. Let's see if we can get that going. Did we set this? Yeah, I set that up. And so this should clear out here in just a couple seconds once these people realize they can no longer get to the cargo hub from here. And then what I was hoping is that now that we have this other area, that this would kind of split up the traffic. And this is, I mean, generating a ton of traffic, but that area is a little better suited for it. And so let's, while we're waiting, I wanted to kind of fill in some of these areas that we haven't been doing any trees on. I've been meaning to come back through, and it's just I keep forgetting. And so like this area right here, I want to make sure we have collision on first. And then we'll come back through here, and I just want to put in some trees. I mean, this would be heavy train area. It would help to buffer the sound, and then it also helps to kind of clean it up a little bit. Just makes it look a little nicer, especially for these people on this road or in our little tourist area. Yeah, there you go. And so now there's a little bit of contrast. I could go that way. I don't really know how I feel about putting trees next to the airport, and so I think that's going to be good for now. I think we do have some other areas that would probably be good for something like that. Like, oh man. So it's because we weren't able to build anything over here before, this is all kind of empty, and so I think what we'll do is just put some trees in here. Because we could build across, I just don't know if that's going to be in the cards. We still have some empty areas that we need to build out, but I think for now we're doing pretty good. And so the next episode, we are definitely going to be doing this freeway interchange, and then I'm adding a toll road going all the way around, and I think we'll do like a pretty cool park right here to kind of give access. But then I'm also thinking a transit hub right here, and we'll probably just delete this road and put in some trees and stuff. And then we still need to do this park. I've been kind of delaying it because I'm not sure how into heavy detailing people are like that, because I want to put a lot of time into it. And so part of me wants to record it, and then a part of me doesn't. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing something like that. Same with the freeway interchange. I was like, you know what, I could just throw it in, or I could do another episode where I do like a time lapse with some music or something. But I'm just not really sure, because the interchange I'm thinking is going to look really cool, but it's going to take a lot of time, possibly an entire episode. And so, again, let me know in the comments what you think. And so I think this area is definitely looking a little better. You can see the traffic is still pretty congested, which is normal though. I mean, this is to be expected, especially until it figures itself out, which is probably going to be a little while. I mean, it's already gone way down over here, which was great, but now this roundabout's kind of built up. But at least we're not stopping all the way back. That's really what we wanted to try and avoid. But they are stopping right here. If they could just go a little faster, we would be in much better shape. I think we'll end up deleting this guy though. Because I don't think we're going to put anything over here. I think we will do a transit hub right there, but I don't think we're going to put anything right here. We don't have any other issues. Little light backups. I think our traffic's still pretty good. It's 74, but most of it's, I mean, it's that area. We don't have any other areas that are crazy backed up. I mean, cargo hubs, but they're to be expected. Yeah. Just normal traffic. This area's built up. What are these people stopped for? I think this is like a light. Oh. Thought I had gone through and set priorities on all these, but I guess not. Because these people are just stopping. It's causing a backup over here. You know, it would be smart if we... Let's look at the speed on this guy. So 40. I mean, that's pretty good. We could add another lane, which would be good. I mean, they're moving now. Just the problem is these trams. Let's see, because I see they're not driving in that tram lane, so I wonder if we just get away from the dedicated lane. Let's do a regular tram road. 3-lane, one-way with non-dedicated tram track. Yeah, I think this will end up working better for this area. Because then people can drive on that road, which is going to help. Trams are going to have to wait now, but the problem is the cars are just not going, so... Come on, people. They were waiting behind that tram because it was 2 left turns. So there you go. Now there's 2 straightaways, so this should help out this area quite a bit. This is a tram road. I think we already set this up. Look at all these people. I really like this area. I think this area turned out really well. I think this is probably one of my favorite areas in here. With the roundabouts and the color and just the kind of spread out hotels. Kind of makes it like a resort style almost. It looks like there's a festival going on. It's packed. Let's see how many people are there. 900, I mean that's filled, and look at all these people walking. Going down to the little bar or something afterwards or before. Come on. Really hoping this was going to get fixed faster than this, but... I mean, good thing is this intersection's flowing, and so we don't have any more backups happening over here. Because what we could do is just add in another lane. I could also separate the tram roads by putting them in the middle, which works, especially like having this tram on the outside. It does affect the turn lane, and so that might actually be smart. If we had the tram on the inside, it'd probably be better. But the trams tend to cut people off from turning right, and then they have to wait for somewhere. Like this one's waiting, and so... Oh, there you go. At least it's not backed up anymore. So people coming over here. Is there an alternative route? So I feel like we're just getting a lot of traffic coming back and forth. Yeah. So we have all these people coming over here. And this was kind of the same issue we were having with this other bridge. Because I think there's still a lot of people. But because the freeway is just not faster, they're deciding to drive through here. Which isn't bad, but it just, this roundabout was not designed for this type of congestion. Let's look at the speed of it. 25, so we could... I don't know if that's gonna help. Let's maybe turn this into a light. Hey, there you go. Fixed a little bit. You can see that this crosswalk right here is messing people up. They're all coming over to our little cable cars. Which is good, people are using it. Having this there is not the greatest. It would be better if we had a bridge. Because of all this is already developed, though, it's not the greatest for us to put that in right now. And so this roundabout actually looks a lot better. It's flowing now, and so this intersection is not completely backed up. Do we have pedestrians crossing here, too? We're pretty good. And so let's see if on the next light it goes through this whole intersection again. Because having this right there is just messing it up. That intersection's too close. But as long as it goes through the majority of the cars, then... Just, yeah, look at that. I'm gonna ban cars on that. Hey, you know what? It's going through the whole thing, and so I think that's gonna work out. Yeah, I wish these tram roads were a little bit different. I think we might need to switch to a different tram road right here. Because we need dedicated tram lines. So... let's see how this one looks. Let's just go. We're losing the bike paths and the parking, which is terrible, but I think this might solve a lot of our problems. Because not having the tram lines dedicated is really hurting us. Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, look at this. This is already way better. So I think with this one, it's just these trams now are stuck. And I don't know. This road's backed up. You know, I think we definitely need to upgrade this road. So let's see if we have... let's see how putting it in the middle works. I've never done that. And then now we should be able to upgrade this, because I want to do like a 4-lane. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. This roundabout is just crazy busy. And so let's see how many problems they run into. Having the extra lanes though should be good. Getting a huge backup from these trams now that they're trying to space themselves out. They're stopping and not allowing the cars to go. Again, so, I mean, I think this is definitely going to fix itself. I think by putting the dedicated tram line in there, it's going to help out a lot. I think right there is our only really congested area. Now that, I mean, we fixed this area, which is what the whole episode was on. definitely wasn't intending it to be a traffic episode, but you know, sometimes you just end up stumbling across some crazy traffic. We still have some pretty congested intersections, but it's to be expected, and so it's a big city now. We're gonna have some problems. It's moving though. Just trying to make dedicated turn lanes. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So we are just going to have to wait for the trams to space themselves out, because what's happening now is they're stopping up traffic to try to put a lead in between each tram, which is normal for transit lines. They try to break themselves up so that they're not right behind each other. And so it's going to take a little while. Good thing is, I mean, this roundabout is already way better. Our only issue now is just these trams. And so I think that pretty much fixed the problem. Our traffic is already substantially higher, with our only really bad interchange being this area. But once the trams fix themselves, and it's going to really make this a lot better. This might end up turning into a roundabout, because I already know this is going to end up being just a bad intersection. But we'll see. For right now, I think it's okay. This is just normal congestion. And so our new areas look pretty good. I like how the key wall turned out. I like the little neighborhood, even though we're going to be moving this interchange. I think this looks pretty good. I only did the light landscaping down there, which I put that little park in, which I think is good. I didn't do any landscaping around the oil because all the trees just burn and everything, and so it's not really worth it. But then this area too, we ended up doing the little snake, and it definitely helps. I kind of wish I was trying to avoid having to do this, and this is why designing the area for this kind of amenity is always best, kind of like our other cargo hub over here, how I did the two roundabouts and then the straightaway with the cargo hub kind of by itself. This is definitely a more efficient layout than what we have going on over here, but this always works, just making this huge queue. The way the game works, it just gives more space for backups that it never actually comes down here. And then we fix the problem with the freeway exit, and we don't have any other congestions. And so if you like the episode, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps the channel to grow and for my episodes to get out there, and I will catch you on the next one.